Hi there, Todd Toback, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about one of the most important factors that's going to drive profitability in your real estate wholesaling business. And I got to tell you, this is a complete game changer. At least it was for me. And so I know that if you implement this, okay, you are going to see really a breakthrough in your business. Now, before I get into today's video, my name is Todd Toback, and I've wholesaled a little bit more than 1,000 houses, and 95% of those were locked up by somebody on my team and not by me personally. And I specialize in transforming real estate hustlers into real estate business owners who own an asset that throws off cash month after month after month. And I want that for you. So if you have not been to my website, head on over to nextlevelwholesaling.com, and there's an assessment there. You've got to take it, got to download it. It's going to have you rate yourself in the 4 core areas of your business. That's going to be acquisition, disposition, marketing, and cash flow accounting. In other words, the money that you are keeping. Very, very, very important. So head on over to nextlevelwholesaling.com and download the assessment. So I'm going to talk about today deal size, right? And why this is so important. And a lot of people think, well, my deal size doesn't matter. It just is what it is, right? I showed up at the seller's house and, this is what they would take. And I, sold it for this, and it's really out of my control. And I can tell you that nothing is farther from the truth. Okay, see, I used to think that way. When I first got involved in wholesaling, I remember I was in San Diego, and people were saying, oh, you shouldn't get into wholesaling because you could only make like $5,000 or $7,000 a deal, right? This is before wholesaling became cool. And I can tell you that that wasn't true. I didn't believe it. I wanted to make more per deal. And I actually had someone wholesale me a deal, right? And I paid a lot of money for that assignment. And so I started to open my eyes, said, hey, I've got to learn how to do this, right? And so I made a decision that I wanted to make at least $20,000 a deal, right? And so over time, I kept on trying to expand that, right? 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 150, 200, right? I've done an assignment as big as $225,000 on a single family property. Now you may say, Todd, not in my market. Well, I can tell you that don't have a limiting belief, right? I remember one time I bought an $80,000 house that I wholesaled for 80, and I bought it for 10, right? That's $70,000. I've bought in houses that I bought for 40 and I've sold them for 120, right? So do not limit yourself. I'm going to give you some actual tips. People who I've trained how to do this in our Next Level Wholesaling program, they've taken our average assignment fee from $7,000 to $15,000 to $20,000 to $25,000. Okay, and this is going to drastically increase your profitability, right? And this is why this is so critical, is that getting a deal, whether you spend money on marketing through direct mail or cold calling or pay-per-click advertising, right? The cost of that is generally set, right? Unless you actually convert more, right? But your opportunity, when you lock up a deal, if you make $7,000 and let's say it cost you $3,000 to make the deal, well, that's only a $4,000 profit. Only $4,000. I can tell you, do enough of those, you're going to go broke. Promise you. Okay. Now think about if your average assignment fee is $25,000 and it costs you $3,000. Well, that means that you're making $17,000 a deal. No, excuse me, $22,000 a deal, right? Before you pay someone on your acquisition team, which I hope you have, right? Which I hope you get. If you're watching me, you'll eventually get there, right? And so that is a drastic amount of money, right? The difference between a $7,000 assignment fee and a $25,000 assignment fee is game changing. You do 5 deals a month, right? That's going to be $125,000 versus 40, right? And that's almost all additional profit. And so there's a couple levers that you can change, which I'm going to talk about in this video. But again, if you're just watching this video and you have not been to our website, nextlevelwholesaling.com, you got to go there and download the assessment. It's going to have you rate yourself in the 4 core areas of your business. Okay, marketing, sales, acquisition, and disposition, cash flow accounting. Got to do it. So how can you increase your deal size? Okay, well, the number one thing is you have to commit to this, right? You have to say, I want to increase my deal size. if I'm making 10, I'm going to double it to 20, right? Make that decision. Something happens when you open your eyes, okay? Your goal will automatically attract this to you. Now, this is not some weird law of attraction thing, right? Your actions now will be, your actions now will reflect what your brain has decided to do. Okay, so the number one thing that you can do is really build up your cash buyers list. And I'm talking real buyers. So don't do that silly thing that you hear some wholesalers talk about trading buyers list and buying buyers list. That is complete garbage, right? It is not the amount of buyers on your buyers list that's going to make it, okay? You want high quality buyers, okay? And all you need is 50 to 100 really, really high quality buyers. And that's it. So I'm going to recommend two things. Number one, go down to an auction and find all the auction buyers. They're used to bidding against each other. They're used to not seeing the inside of a property. They're easy. They move fast. They have cashier's checks. And these are the pros. So you want to go down there and you want to meet people at the auction, have a little clipboard, and make that happen. Okay. The second thing is that you can do direct mail. Chris Chico has a phenomenal postcard that he uses to get cash buyers, and I built my wholesaling business on his postcard for my cash buyers, right? So go out there, go to ListSource. I've got another video on my channel on how to find cash buyers on ListSource, right? So if you're watching this on Facebook, go to YouTube and find how to get cash buyers on ListSource under my account, right? So there's a whole nother video on how to do that, all right? Send out a mailer, use a 24-hour recorded message for a postcard, and build up your buyers list, right? So when you do that, you create this competition among your buyers, right? You can also put properties on the multiple listing service. This is something that I taught my next level wholesalers to do, and they literally doubled their income overnight, okay? Doubled their income overnight by increasing their buyers list and listing their properties on the MLS. I know that's hard to believe, but it is true. So if you're used to making 10, if you just do that one thing, you can probably double your assignment fees, period. Okay. If you think you've heard that, you probably haven't heard that enough. Get everybody at the property at the same time, set a minimum starting bid, tell everybody highest and best, create that expectation that you are in charge. There's no buddy system here. Okay. Do not sell properties to your friends. You are in business to make money. Okay. Very, very, very important. And so if you are a next level wholesaler, you do understand that. Okay. Now, second thing that you need to do to increase your deal size is you need to learn how to walk from small deals. Okay. You must learn how to walk from small deals. I can tell you from firsthand experience that the small deals, the $5,000, $7,000, $8,000 deals, take the most times. The sellers are the most difficult. You're going to sit there and negotiate. They're going to have you're going to be bidding against other people who are fighting for your scraps. Okay, I've been there. And you think you're going to get the deal, and you're going to fight, and you're going to fight, and you're going to fight, and you're going to try to get the deal, right? And either one of two things is not going to happen. Number one, you're going to spend all that time, and you're not going to get the deal. And believe me, it's going to take your time, your mental energy, your emotion, your confidence, right? And that is like your most important thing, your state and your confidence, okay? And you don't get the deal. But even worse is that you might get the deal. One of the worst things that you could do is actually get a small margin deal, because now you're going to get into escrow. You're going to sell it. Maybe you're going to make $4,000 or $5,000. You're going to sell it. You're going to spend the time. You are going to exhaust your resources. If you have a team, now you've got your whole entire team working on this little tiny deal, right? And the seller is going to be a pain in the butt the entire time. I promise you, right? It's going to be the hardest deal. They're going to be arguing during closing. They're going to hate your paperwork. And so they're not going to play ball. And so you have to protect your time. You have to train your people who work for you. You have to train them to protect their time. And so when you see small deals, you walk. You know why? Because then everything gets clear. And you can focus on the whales, right? I'm not saying you have to make $50,000, $100,000 in every deal, right? But you got to set a minimum threshold, right? 15, 20, 25. Okay, when you do that, you spend time on the real needle movers. Needle movers, right? Needle movers will make your year. So what does this take, right? Obviously, you got a bigger buyer's list. You've got now a decision to walk away from the smaller deals. And if you're training someone on your team, you got to train them that. I train our team to go for a very, very, very big number. And guess what? Most of the time, they get that big number and they're very discouraged and very disenchanted with small deals. Do the same. I promise you. You're going to see your profitability go through the roof. Saying no is so powerful. Have the courage and make it happen. Sometimes you got to let go of the okay, the mediocre, to really get to that great. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you one more tip. Okay? If you haven't been to our website, by the way, before I'm going to talk about this, download our next level wholesale business assessment. It's going to have you rate yourself in the 4 core areas of your business: marketing, acquisition, disposition, and cash flow accounting. Okay, so go down, next level wholesaling, download it. So here's the last thing is you must always be sharpening you and your team's sales skills. Okay, this is one of the most critical areas. If you are a real estate wholesaler, there's not a whole lot of value that you're offering, right, to the seller, but besides price, right? Every other wholesaler out there, you're competing on price, right? And so the only thing that you're going to have over another wholesaler is your ability to prioritize and your sales skill and to push the sale forward and compress those timelines. All right, so going back to deal size, a lot of sellers, okay, this is a total ninja trick, is a lot of times, and I'll do a whole other video on this, on compressing timelines. A lot of sellers, they don't know what to do. They're confused. They don't know how to push the sale forward, right? They just won't do it. And a lot of wholesalers, they just don't know how to get to move the seller. And so it's really important that a lot of sellers need to be led on the process. They need to know what the next step is. They'll hit a little obstacle, maybe like a piece of furniture in the house, and they're not ready to move forward. So you got to be able to walk them through that, give a solution. Say you'll buy the house and have the couch delivered for them, whatever that is, but give your team, a little slush fund to deal with things like that, right? Sometimes a couch can make you 30 grand in profits, 40 grand in profits. And if you give your team or yourself, $300, $500, $1,000 per property to make things like that happen without coming to check with you, okay, you're going to see your business grow. You're going to offer competitive advantages, and that's where the real money comes in. So if you're watching this on Facebook, by the way, do me a favor, leave a comment below and let me know what you think about these videos and a subject that I can speak on. If you're watching this on YouTube, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel and feel free to like or comment. Other than that, love today's video because I know that it's going to make a huge difference in your business, right? I know it's a real needle mover. And I was thinking today about what to publish, and I knew that was it. Okay, and that is going to really, really, really make a change for you. And that's why I'm enjoying this. So talk to you soon, and let's do it.